My dad and my brothers were mechanics, but when they came home, they would shower, shave, and put on some incredible clothing. And that was part of what influenced me as far as being in the men's clothing business. You know, they dressed to the nines, as they would say at that time. and and then while living in New York, I worked at a clothing store, and then I moved to Austin, and I started working with Capra Cavelli. It just was an incredible cycle of working in the men's retail business.
My dad was a very passionate dresser, and growing up in the Philippines, he always wore made-to-measure clothing, and so did I as a young man. And when the opportunity came about to jump into the clothing business, I was very excited about it.
What influenced me to work in the men's retail business? When I was 16, I got a job at Banana Republic, just a part-time, job in high school, just to make a little extra cash. And I always knew I enjoyed working with clothes, or just clothes in general, I should say, because this was my first real experience working with them. But there was one instance that really kind of solidified it for me. I had a person come in looking for they were going on vacation for an extended period of time, and they needed essentially a whole wardrobe.
I came into the menswear business after about 20 years of a career in the music industry, and I wanted a change of lifestyle, and I've had an interest in timeless menswear ever since my teens.
Well, I would say it was my passion for clothing. I have always had a passion for clothes ever since I was a young age, and it probably started just with growing up. I watched a lot of classic Hollywood films, and it really got me interested in clothes and just the classic male aesthetic.
My personal style. Okay. First of all, I would like to think that within the context of timeless menswear, I'm relatively eclectic. There are a few eras and styles generally which interest me greatly, and depending on my mood, I'll wear one of them or a mix of them. For example, I love that very, very stuffy, pent-up British tailored wear, a British banker or politician, very structured, everything in its place. And then on the American side of that, I love the traditional Ivy kind of style, the heavier tweeds and the crew neck sweaters and the Brooks Brothers button-down shirts and all of that.
I don't have a real, how can I put it? It's not a clothing style that I have when I wear clothing. I'm somewhere between conservative and on the, modern side, meaning I don't try to dress too conservatively. I enjoy sport coat. I enjoy suits. I enjoy wearing ties. And it's funny, when I don't have a tie on, if I don't have a suit on, if a customer walks in and sees me in a very casual looking attire, they'll say, "Ken, hey, you don't have a suit on today." But they do it not saying that I should have a suit on, but they are very surprised.
Fashion is fleeting. Style is something that is within us. And so I like to believe that I have a style that is commensurate with an updated classic look.
My personal clothing style, I mean, one word I would say is classic. Like I said, grew up watching old Hollywood films, and in those old Hollywood films, everybody was always, dressed to a T, generally, and that really influenced me in how I like to present myself. So, a lot of things that I like to wear, other people might be interested in it and they may not, but it's just a classic style that's timeless. And I do like to incorporate updated pieces into my wardrobe. But overall, I think if people were to look at me in the way that I generally like to present myself, it's just classic, it's timeless.
My clothing style is it's totally Twan, so to speak. Which Twan is a nickname that I have amongst my close friends. But what that means is it's hard to kind of pinpoint it to one particular style. I like to dress classic while incorporating, streetwear into my ensembles. I'll wear Adidas tracksuits.
I know it sounds cliche, but first and foremost, it's spending time with my family. I love cooking for my family, spending time gathered together as family and friends. And then selfishly, I enjoy motorsports, and I'm grateful that that's something I get to share with my son, and also enjoy skiing and wakeboarding.
So my life really does revolve around being a clothier, and you may laugh, but when I go home, a lot of times I'll read books or online content about the state of the clothing business. But aside from that, when I do tear myself away, I do like to read. I read a fair amount of history and biography, things like that. I like fine dining and hanging out with my beautiful girlfriend and my dog, her dog, technically, but it's...
I have a few hobbies and interests outside of work. Most recently, I picked up inline skating, although with the weather, I haven't been able to participate in that much. I also play in a band. I'm a drummer. Played in the same band for the last 10 years. And I love hanging out with my family. I have a son. He's 10 months old now, and he's just the greatest thing to ever exist in my life. So that's kind of my biggest hobby, yeah.
Well, outside of Capra Cavelli, I am also a barber. I own my own barbershop now, and it kind of goes hand in hand with it. Just helping guys on the grooming side and being able to help them here with the clothing side. I mean, the two are very, very related in a lot of ways, not just because they're both, related to the aesthetics of the way people look, but also the relationships. And they're both very people-oriented businesses. So there's something that I enjoy doing together and helping, and just helping people look good and feel good. is very important, and it really is a quality of life improvement when people feel good about the way they look.
Photography, and also I love jazz. I have a nice collection of jazz albums, and my son, who lives in Rochester, New York, kind of borrowed some of my albums, which I'll never see again. But I enjoy jazz.
I don't know if it's so much a motto as much as it is a mindset, and that is show them a way to be adventurous while still sticking true to themselves. Obviously, you know, with clothes, it's all about, how can I word this? It's all about properly representing the person in a way that makes them greater than themselves.
I can't say I have a succinct motto. I definitely have an approach, and that is listen as well as I can to quickly and efficiently understand my client's needs, and then it's service, service, service.
When helping a customer, I don't have a personal motto, but what I want to do is make sure that the customer is very happy with what they have purchased. It could be a tie, it could be a t-shirt, it could be a suit, whatever. I don't try to upsell them, and I don't try to sell them something that I don't think it's in what they would be happy with. I want to make sure that everything that they see or have purchased is something that they are very pleased in buying.
I always try to first seek to understand rather than to be understood. By that I mean I really want to know what it is that my client wants or needs, rather than trying to push my personal agenda on them, so that I can be of best service to them.
Cut. That's a wrap. And now that we're finished.
We can celebrate.
Okay.